you've got to go, but next week we're working together. I can see on Zoom there's a lot of this going on. Okay, so really working on challenging that balance. This is telling me about your glutes. So if this is going on, it's telling me that there's imbalances in that kinetic chain. Okay, well done, shake it off. Thanks, kiddo.
Am I all right? Did
Hello,
you assess me?
Yeah, I think there's something going on with your hip.
That one? Well, yeah.
Okay, right, biomechanical now, it needs fixing. Okay. All yours. Okay, so what I'd like us to do is to work on the flexion extension of the spine. So think about neutral first. And then what I want you to do is to think about your arms, okay? So arms flat at your sides. We're going to roll the shoulders and stretch out the back and then go the opposite way. Okay, so this is just about, it's called protraction, retraction of the scapula. That's what we're doing here. But I'm taking you to your sides and you should feel a lift through the chest. Okay, lovely. Okay, and then from there, let's take it arms on the horizon. Same thing, squeeze and lengthen. So we're pulling and drawing the shoulders together. Now I want you to put some bracing through your centre. Lovely. Give me 3 or 4 more of those. I am going to open the door because it is quite warm in here. Lovely. And more importantly, there's some really cool birds that sing outside and I like the sound of it. Well done, and release. Okay, so arms, sorry about this guys. Okay, we're going to bring the elbows together and then we're going to take it back. Now you can see yourselves on camera. I want you to think, when you come forward, your elbows and wrists connect. And when you come back, you work your shoulder blades. So you lose your arms and your peripheral vision. Come forward, elbows together, wrists together, brace through your abs and take it back. Lose your arms and your peripheral vision. So you really have to open up through the chest. This time as your elbows connect, send your hands upwards and then downwards. Elbows connect, back to your neutral, I know, and then all the way out until you can't see them anymore. Yeah, I can hear some of you. So elbows together, up, up, down, down, up, up again. Down, down, neutral, open wide. Okay, open wide, extend your arms. Okay, so I want you to take your right foot in front of your left, so your heel toe. Brace through your centre, so you're pulling in at the bottom rib. Woo! So straight away you might be an unsteady. Now we're going to do a bit of rib isolation. So I want you to slide to one side and then the other, whilst keeping your arms at 3 and 9 o'clock. So it's a real challenge through the ankles. A bit of a tip here, squeeze your thighs together. Yeah, it really does challenge your balance. Well done. Okay. Arms will get tight. So we're not planes. We're reaching out onto the horizon. Last time, and then release the arms. Right, let's switch sides. Left foot forward. When you're ready, arms out. This time, palms forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades. So you can see me connecting my shoulder blades and relaxing them. Can you see that on camera? Connect, release. Connect, release. So not only am I working my shoulder blades, I'm working the latissimus dorsi, big old triangle shaped muscles in your back. I know it makes you tired. Okay, let's reach again. Come back to center. And your feet will probably be going really tighten through the thighs as well, because that enhances the control in the pelvic floor. Last time, and then relax your shoulders. Hello, good morning, shoulders. Well done. Okay, so flexion extension, let's continue that, but now we're going to target into the middle of the back. So I want you to pull in as tight as you can, like you've never pulled in so tight in all your life. You need to go and really suck it in, suck it in. The times when I do that is when you've got something clean on and you've got a dirty car and you've parked too close to the other one. Yeah, and you kind of go, you just don't want to wipe a dirty car on all of your clothes. I have done that a few times. Okay, so I want you to go, pull it in as tight as you can, keep going, and then from there, push the back out, send the arms towards the front of your mat. Pull in, pull in, pull in, and then release. Okay, we're going to do that again. So there's a pull it in, then you pull in as tight as possible, chin towards your chest, and really suck it in as tight as possible. And then release. Okay, we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to pull it in with your arms up. So I need you to suck it in as tight, and it's almost like you're pulling your abdominals under your ribs, okay? So as tight as you possibly can, and it might even force your toes to curl. And then release. You may experience bits of pulling everywhere. Okay, so let's do that again. So this is tight, sucked in, pulling up. Oh, my toes, try to relax your toes. And then release. Good job. Give me a yes. Find that interesting, right? It's quite interesting. Okay, change angles. So our hands are on our knees. Coming a little closer. Hands are on our knees. Okay, I've just put my hand out the way so you can see what's going on. Relax it all. And then start to pull it all in as tight as you can. Now the pelvic floor. So think about where there's wind, and then where there's water, and then let it go. So that's right, where you pee, where you poo. Okay, let's go again. So think about pulling up, belly button to spine, but then keep going. So suck everything in and up and tight. All the way as far as you can. Keep sucking it in. And this time fold forward. Let it go. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Good job, good job, good job. Okay, stay there. Okay, if you can, hold on to your elbows and just rock from side to side. I don't mind where your feet are right now, where you are in terms of placement, but keep your eye gaze through around your knees and just rock side to side with your arms, just getting a little bit more of a stretch through the outside of the back of the hips, and also a little bit around the hamstrings. Settle into the middle. Pull in as tight as you can again. Now, you may feel restricted in this movement. Let your arms go onto the floor and come into a kneel-in position and settle back in child's pose. I'm not quite done with the flexion extension of your spine yet. Okay, so from this position, I want you to explore your knee alignment. Where you're going to optimize the movement that we're going into now. Knees wide, knees neutral, knees together. Hands will be relatively straight, fingers spread, and I want you to use the force out of your hands to push your back into a C shape, and then release. Okay, in a minute we're going to stretch out because your abdominals are going to contract and possibly not let go for a little while. Okay, so we are pushing back, trying to create that C shape with the spine, tucking the chin towards the chest. Now, do you need to have a little side to side movement here? Now for me, I'm already in spasm in my abdominals. Keep drawing your abs in. And then release. Now, when we release, take your knees nice and wide, draw your hands closer together, push out your tush and have a wiggle. Push out your tush and have a wiggle. Okay, and then try and lovely opening C shape around the front. This time your belly's coming forward, your bottom's going down but sticking out, and you're really thinking about shortening your back. Does that make sense? So neutral, shorten it, stick your tail out. Okay, now we come down into child's pose. But as we do that, try and bring your chest down. So the boobs are going to try and touch the floor if that's what you want. Some of us can do that, others not so much. Okay, which brings to mind, do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? No, not funny? Okay. Stay there for a moment. Okay, so we are going to address hips and butt and back. So we're going to draw, it's like an arc shape from tabletop. So leg closest to me extends, its starting position is right the way across the body and opposite, if that makes sense. Then what will happen is the leg's going to go up, 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 out, and then up, 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 down. Got it? So we're going to try and do this 4 times on one side. So I'm going to change positions and hopefully you get to see it. So my leg is across the body. So you're going to feel this in the hip. We start to lift as high as we can out to 3 or 9 o'clock. Okay, and then we're going to come back up, 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 down. And repeat, let's go up. I need to know that we're okay. So there's a lovely movement here of the pelvis. And I appreciate that some of you might not have the space. It's really important that you're really wide in your starting position. So your right foot is as far across onto the left side as you can possibly get there. Up, 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 up. Feel better? Like with practice, actually becomes a little easier, right? Okay, switch sides. Okay, before we do that, let's just do a little circle through the wrists. Okay, let's go. So left leg starting position goes all the way onto the right side as far as you can muster. Okay, first time. Lift up as high as you can, out as wide as you can, touch the floor. Woo! And all the way back again. Let's go. So you should have some unusual sensations going on in your body here. You might be feeling this behind your rib cage. You might be feeling it in all sorts of odd and peculiar places. But it just goes to show that the hip, there is so many things that are connected to and around it, particularly around your ribs. Okay, let's do that one more time. And the starting position is as important. So really get to cross over. Lovely. Well done, my beauties. And then settle back. Okay, we're kneeling. Are we okay? Did I kind of hit you hard then? Are you okay? Right, okay, we did this on Friday. I just want you to go hip to hip. If you can, come to the floor on one side and then to the other side. I did it. I couldn't do that a week ago. It doesn't have to be pretty, remember? Okay, so I need us now, so bearing in mind I talked about the spine earlier on and said I'm looking for flexion and extension. What I'm looking for now, so if you just watch me for a second, so the first thing I'm doing is sticking my bum out, and then I'm going to go, I'm crawling like an animal forward, trying to glide my boobs onto the floor and back again. So that's our first position, okay? There's method in the madness. I just need you to get this bit going so we can really stimulate the posterior chain of the body, so the back side of the body. It's really important that we get this far and up well. So stretching your arms, try and scooch your boobs along the floor. And when you come forward, you're almost in a Sphinx pose. Do that a handful more and I'll show you the progression. So from here, slide your hands down to your ribs, push up, relax the butt. Lower down and try and push back. And now we're bringing in your triceps. So we're coming forward and up, down, push back. So play with this. It's going to feel really intense around the shoulder. So keep your hands, so try to start bringing your hands further down your body. Lovely. It feels quite awakening, right? Zoomers are looking strong and they all hate me. They're like, what on earth is going on? Well done. And then release. But instead of a child's pose release, we're going to do a down dog release. So I need to come in, as I said, posterior chain, knee bends, stretch out through the Achilles. So back of heels, really important, particularly in flip-flop wearing weather. Think about trying to raise through the heels, lower through the heels. Me having a little look at you. Keep going. Okay. And now from there, if you can, please, I want you to lie down on your back. Yay, full body stretch. Yay. Okay. Well, I don't know what all that was about. Okay, right. Nothing fancy, keeping it simple. From here, set up your body. Welcome to the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Okay, so we go lift, lift, lower, lower. Simple. Okay, lift, lift, lower, lower. The floor is a big open space. The surfaces of the floor is like cling film, really fragile, really thin. I don't want you to put any weight into the floor. Just barely let your feet touch the floor. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Well done. Up, up, down, down, up, up, hold. Right leg goes out and in, left leg out, in. Good job. 1 and draw in. Brace through your center. Now if you want to, you can add in arms. So we take the arm overhead, the opposite arm to the stretched out leg. We breathe naturally and comfortably, but we're going to smash out a stack of these. Keep going. There's a change coming up with the arms. Keep going with your legs. Keep going with your legs. Take your fingers to your temples. Now we're going to start to add in a cross crawl at the same time. So now it's elbow to bent knee, elbow to bent knee. We're not doing this fast. Your hip flexors are getting tired. Elbow to bent knee, elbow to bent knee. Good job. We've got 4 more to go. 4 and 3 and 2. Last time. Don't rest your feet. Come back into tabletop. Look to point your toes. Send your toes to ceiling. Flex your foot. Right heel comes down and up. Opposite. Down and up. Good job. All the way. All the way. Down. Contract. Down. Contract. Woo. Last time. And feet down, feet wide. Take both knees to the right side. Come up, both knees to the left side. Do this a handful of times, my friends. Obviously, there's always a and or a now we're going to add on. With your feet wide, if you drop your knees to the left, I want you to see if you can just grab your right ankle and pause there for a minute. So really tuck your heel, right heel in towards your right buttock. Okay, release. Knees to the right side. Grab your left ankle and just enjoy that stretch through the quads. Come back to center. Good job. Let's go again. So we're taking the knees to one side. Hold on to the ankle. So right heel into right bum. Now if you want to, you can take your right heel, right bum, left arm overhead. See how that feels? Should just feel okay. Lift up, left foot, left bum cheek, hold on with left ankle, right arm overhead. Give yourself a bit of a bum clench here too, and see how that increases the stretch in the hip flexors. Okay, lovely. So I just want us to go through a couple of bridges. I'm just going bang, 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 bang. Okay, we are rolling into a bridge and then rolling down. Handful of these, please, just to wake up and relax off your hip flexors. So we're going to do some single leg bridges in a moment. Okay, so I started the conversation today around posterior chain, flexion extension through the spine. When we roll up here today in our bridge, I want you to go into extension if you can. So Not only do you push up as high as you can using the power of your legs. Then you lay your spine back down. So think about the sequence as you roll up your spine. How high can you go? And the trick here is to squeeze butt and lift heels. Lay your spine back down. So really think about your spine in sequence. Lift it away from the mat as far as you can. And then lowering down, every vertebra making contact with the mat on the down phase. That's really important here. So I really want your vertebra, every single bone in your spine, to have made contact with your mat or left contact away from your mat. Oh, lovely. So do you remember when we started today, I was getting you to pull in your abdominals as tight as possible? We're going to do that again. So feet slightly wider than neutral. Rise up into a bridge. And now that you're up there, I want you to suck in everything as tight as possible. Really pull in your abdominals, really tight. Really pull it in, belly to background. Suck it in as tight as you can. And then lay your spine down with that contraction on. How does that feel in your back? And then we're going to do that 1 or 2 more times. So as you start to roll up through your spine, you really start to suck in everything at the front and lower abdominals as tight as you can, all the way to the top. Everything's tight and pulled in, and keep that contraction on as you lay the spine back down. Relax, release. Last time as you roll, roll, pull it in, tiptoe as high as you can, suck it in, lay it down, full body stretch just for a moment. So whilst all that was going on, your hamstrings were firing up nicely. Okay, so left heel close to your bottom, relatively close to the midline, because it's the right leg that's going to do the work. So this is what we're going to do. If you could just watch me for a second. Squeezing shoulder blades. So I'm coming, how am I going to do this? I'm going to do it with a bent knee to start with. Okay, up into bridge, out to the side, bridge and down. Got it? With a bent knee, up into bridge, out to the side and down. Got it? So up into bridge, out to the side, in and down. So when that knee drops out to the side, it's really going to challenge the alignment of the hip, okay? So it's important, right and left hip stay equal and balanced. Now if you want to progress this, you can do this with a straight leg. It's going to put a huge amount of load into your pelvis. If this is too much completely, work on the knee drop. Lovely. Strong, isn't it? I love that. Sue, give me a thumbs up. We okay, Sue? Good. Right, other side. So, we come up, out, in, down. Continue. If you want to make it bigger, think about an extended limb. So if you've got a long leg, longer lever, or more force into your center, more effort, your hamstrings will be firing. So you're working quite hard now and you're all doing incredibly well. You weren't expecting this morning, were you? Last time, Now relax. Ah, okay. So I want you to roll up and we're going to, I'm going to hate this, I can tell you now. And some of you might hate this too. Okay. Firstly, I want you to hook your legs around the side. We don't have to think about 90-90, but what I want us to just put a bit of concentration on is what's going on around the hip joint. Okay, so in the first place, I just want you to lift the knee and lower. Okay, so feet are both on the floor, and it is so right side, right knee lifts and lowers. It's just the knee that's lifting. So we're just having a word with the muscles around the hip. Now arms are optional. You might feel that you need that. Okay. Last time. And then release. Okay. Now, this time, knee down and see if you can lift the heel. And you're going to feel this quite strong into the hip joint. So we're just going to lift the heel and lift the foot. The knee stays down. There won't be a lot of range here. And that's keep going. And that's because the knee joint doesn't have a lot of range. It's designed to flex, extend, and there's a little bit of lateral movement of the knee joint. So it's not something that many of you will like. So the whole foot if you can, and down. So this forces quite a strong internal hip rotation. Okay, and rest out. Third one, use your arms, lift leg, pop it down. Lift leg, pop it down. And you might feel that all the way up your ribs at the same time, okay? Can you see where this is going? It's horrible, isn't it? Yeah? So I'm looking at the camera and that's you on Zoom. Woo. Woo. Okay, last time. And then we bring it forward. Woo. Just to give yourself a bit of a release from that. Soz. I just kind of went back to my notes around hip training. And was refreshed by all of these moves. I think about you all the time, that's the thing. Okay, so once we're settled into position, hands are optional. We lift through the knee. So again, we're trying to create equal and balance in the body. We're constantly coming back to the synergy of the body, right and left, upper, lower. It's really important that we manage this and to recognize that part of us is not always equal and balanced. Okay, this time let's have a look at foot lift. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I can barely get that foot off the ground at all. So I'm so tight in that hip. Oof. So I'm having to sway to get some kind of lift. Constantly learning about our own anatomy, right? I may have to assist. Okay, last time. Oh, everything's clunking. Now, whole leg, lift. Are you lifting or are you moving? What's going on? How's your waistline feeling? Do you hate it? Or are you intrigued? As I am. Kind of, ooh. Okay. Well done. That feels so much better by the end of that. I wonder if we could repeat that. Let's go around to side one and see if there's a change going on. This is the curiosity of the exercise scientist. I wonder if we could do that again and see what's different. Okay, so this time, no touchy. Lift knee. So take your hands forward, crisscross your hands if you can. Lift knee. Lift knee. Lift foot. up. So you'll notice you're leaning forward into a little counterbalance. It's completely fine. Again, it is strong, so it is strong. This is the acetabulum. It's like the top edge of the bottom edge of the pelvis, and underneath that is the femoral head, and then the femur. So it may catch. Okay, now let's do the whole thing. No touchy. Lift the whole leg. Lift the whole leg. Think about waistline, muffin top muscles. Work those little bad boys, or I'd like to say pasty top muscles. Lift and lift. Well done. Bring the foot in front of you. Whew. Other side. 90-90. Okay, when you're ready, let's start. No touchy, open and close through the knee. Now lift the knee, leave the foot in place. Lift the knee. Good job. Whew. Feeling that? Anyone dying? Who hates this? Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing, we keep doing the stuff that we love, and we've really got to work on the stuff that doesn't make us feel so good. And then I'll tell you my story in a minute. Okay, rest, heel up. No, it hasn't improved. I'm gonna apply a bit of passive movement here. So if you feel restricted here, it might be that you can apply passive movement to improve range. So when I first became a when I first took fitness seriously in my late 20s after having postnatal depression, okay, last time, before we add on, both heel and knee, lift, 1, good. I went to a combat style class, and I was significantly overweight then and very unfit. And I went to this class with my friends. I say that in inverted commas because the experience made me think that they weren't my friends. And for 60 minutes I did a combat class and hated every single second of that class. Take a rest. Bring your feet together, and I just want you to rock side to side and hold on to your ankles. And I hated that class. And I remember looking at the clock for the whole 60 minutes and just really feeling ashamed, vulnerable, in pain. There was lots of things that I was experiencing, lots of feelings in my body. Okay, so now I just want you to cup your feet and see if you can lean in a little more, and a little stillness, allowing gravity to come down on your knees. 6 months later, I taught that class. But I remember crying right the way through it, thinking, I just hate how I feel. I went to a spin class recently, and I struggle because I've got hip pain and back pain. And for the first time, I felt those same feelings as I did 20 odd years ago when I was first going to a fitness class. The knees come together, stretch your legs forward, and I just want you to point and flex your feet for a moment. So there was, the instructor's delightful, but the instructor did this competition, and you had to try and get to 12 miles as fast as possible. I thought I was doing all right. And but the deal was, when you got to your 12 miles, he'd come and check to prove that you've done it. So, and then you can leave. And I hated that feeling. Keep flexing and pointing. All of this makes sense. Hated that feeling. He made me feel terrible. So, because everybody in the class had finished their 12 miles and I was still going. I had like 2 miles to go. Shake off your knees. And I really struggled with it. And he made me cry because I saw my own inadequacies. I saw that I'm not as strong or as fit. I didn't see any of the good. I didn't see that I was spinning at a cadence that I've never done before. I'm so much fitter. My cardiovascular fitness is brilliant. All I saw that I was third to last. And that doesn't make me feel good. And it just reminds me of when I started fitness I never wanted anyone in my classes to ever feel that they can't cope. Everybody needs to feel that they leave with something, whatever it is, whether it's happiness or they've nailed a move or they've got over a challenge in their movement. That's what I've always wanted. And sometimes I'm reminded that of my own inadequacies. I'm often reminded. Does that make sense? Do I make sense? But yeah, so my spin instructor made me cry because he made me feel terrible. And I never want people in classes to feel like that. We've got to celebrate every joyous movement that we've got and celebrate these magnificent bodies of ours. We are rotating and we're pushing that rotation. We need to celebrate that many of us have had babies, our hands have held people that we love, our eyes have cried happy tears and sad tears. Our bodies are magnificent and we need to remind ourselves of that all the time. Switching sides, rotating. Okay, well done. Okay, so we're coming back over. How are your hips feeling? We okay? You're all looking really serious at me. Give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay. I want us to have a look at how we press away from the floor again. So I know we do this periodically. It's important that we stress the front of the chest and the arms to the shoulders. This doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, so just to start with, I want you to think about hands underneath shoulders. Okay, we're lowering down and then we're pushing up. Relax your bum cheeks at the top of the movement. Lowering down, pushing up. Got it? Lovely. Lowering down, pushing up. So we're firing up the triceps here. Back of the arms, bingo wings. Okay, now we're going to switch it all off. We're lowering. We go out wide, we bring the hands together, we push up. We lower, go out wide, hands together, push up. Lower. Give me 2 more. Well done. Lovely. Okay. Relax. Now we're just going to do a little gentle stretch out with the wrist, okay? So I want you to just put the back of the hand down on the floor and just feel that stretch for a moment. And then work into it if you need to. This always makes people feel quite vulnerable. So you don't have to put your full body weight on here. Just it's important to get that flexion through the wrist. Okay, well done. Okay, so what I'd like to do is some planks and side planks as we come to our towards the end of the session to finish. So plank, change foot position, side plank, plank, foot position, side plank, and again. Take your time with this. So I want you to give yourself 2 or 3 more. So that would be like 9 poses. Knee down option. Well done. Okay. In kneeling, hands out nice and wide. Okay, and try and lay the entire arm down onto the floor to your shoulder. Up, up. Switch sides. The whole arm comes down, shoulder comes down, look away. Look up at your bent elbow. Let's do that one more time. Lay the whole arm down, look up at your elbow. Rise up. Whole arm comes down, look up at your elbow. So lovely chest and front shoulder stretch here. Okay, left foot comes forward. Okay, use your left elbow into the inside of the left knee and just give it a bit of a nudge. Right arm to sky. Feel that stretch. Well done. Come backwards, straighten off that front knee, lift toes towards the ceiling, lengthen through the spine, but we're not rolling through the back, we're long. Arms high. And now we roll forward to the inside, outside of the front leg, relax the knee. Turn 90 degrees towards me. Leg is straight and long, come down onto your elbows. Rock forward and backwards. Enjoy how that feels into your shoulders, your back, leaving your elbows on the ground. Rocking and rolling forward and backwards. Well done. Let's go to the other side. Okay, so right leg forward. Make a lovely space here. Use your right arm on the inside of the right knee just to knock it out a little bit. Well done. And then arm towards the ceiling, just to open up that chest. So you're pressing the right arm into the inside of the right knee, feeling that rotation, that big fat stretch. Straighten off front leg, lengthen through the spine, arms high. And then we fold. So relaxing off the front knee if you can. Now I'm going to change positions just for the sake of camera, because you don't want to see my booty. Okay, so we turn 90 degrees. Leg out nice and wide. Come down onto your forearms. Bottom towards heel and then nose towards fingers. So you're rocking forward and back, just enjoying the stretch of the inner thighs. Beautiful. Okay. Lovely. And then from here, sit or lie. We're going to do some relaxation. Finally. Grab a sip. Do whatever you have to do. Okay, so just as we start to settle, start to think about slowing the breath. Slowing the breath. Slowing the pace. Creating calm. Now, that was a lot of effort that you've just put into that. Well done, my birds. Take a couple of big, fat, long breaths. Think like an ice cube now, in terms of melting. I want you to think about relaxing your body and melting like an ice cube. And what does that look like? So normally there's this softening around the edges, a hardening in the centre. So it's the edges that need to soften first. And think about, as the edges soften, they melt downwards. So the movement is through gravity downwards. Rooting you, grounding you, settling you, and really get into that mind's eye of you are melting and you are sending yourself downwards into the ground like roots. Because sometimes with underlying anxiety, sometimes we need to put ourselves down, ground ourselves, you know, like in the military you'd say take a knee, and it's just to focus yourself, go low, think, focus, then act. So that's kind of that relax to create change. So you need to melt first, send your roots. So there's your relaxing, and as your roots are going down, this is you starting to take the knee and ground in. And this is where we evolve. This is where change happens. This is when we go, no, I don't want that. I want this. This is where we create our affirmations and set our own goals. What is it we want this week? It doesn't have to be magnificent, tremendous, or colossal. It could be a small goal, a small challenge. Maybe something you've procrastinated on. Maybe something that you're fearful of. And you actually know that by doing it will be way better than the whole build-up and tension because you've procrastinated on it. So you relax, you melt, you send your tendrils downwards to create change. You've taken the knee, focused your mind, and now you're starting to think about what is it that I can do to create change? What are my 3 goals? And I say 3 because we challenge big 3 things. If we can do 3 great things today, maybe 1 that's family related, maybe 1 that is passion, project or work related, and then the 3rd one would be you, something about you. So there's always a self in there, and it might be something like change a prescription, or go sea swimming, or book that appointment. Something that you've just put off because you don't prioritise necessarily. So when we relax, we use this time to be effective, to create change. So we relax the body, we melt the edges, we send the roots down to stable us so we don't fly off with anxiety, and then we set those goals. And then the finisher is that you repeat this later on in your day, and you reflect. You reflect the relax. You reflect what you said to yourself, and then you reflect on your task that you've accomplished. And it's a small thing, and yet it will make such a difference, in all aspects of your life for your life balance. So use this time now to think of 3 things, or 2, or 1, that you could embed change today and tonight. You'll reflect on it and then you'll reward yourself and sleep well. When you're ready, start to create movement to your fingers and toes. When you're ready, stretch your body. And when you're ready, bring yourself up into a seated position. Give yourself a moment. When you're ready, you stretch out. You stretch high. Bring your hands together. Well done, team.